of people in the UK living with diabetes has hit more than 4 million for the first time. That's with 500,000 of those still diagnosed. Well, Raga D'silva discovered she had diabetes at the age of 42. She joins us in the studio now. Good morning to you, Raga. Thank you very much for coming in to speak to us. Just tell me a little bit about what happened to you.
So in 2012, July, basically, I woke up one morning with very poor eyesight, and I had symptoms which were very undescribable. I just couldn't sleep very well. I had emotional issues. I had really severe symptoms of physical pain all the time. And, I just went to the doctors and I was told that I had type 2 diabetes. And knowing that my family had a history of type 1 diabetes, and I'd seen people with that, family members with amputations and kidney failures, basically, it was a very, very dark and scary place to be.
What was your lifestyle like until that point? I mean, was this the first warning sign that you had when you couldn't see properly, or were there other little things that if you look back you think actually those were flags and I should have listened?
There were other little things, but we ignored them. My lifestyle was just a normal lifestyle that most of us think is normal. We eat processed food, I live a very hectic social life. I travel internationally quite a bit. I do international marketing. And so I was just eating normal stuff, drinking, partying, just living my life. And
we saw in the film earlier that one of the case studies that we spoke to has lost 8 stone since he was diagnosed. Is that, how have you seen your life change since your diagnosis?
Yeah, I had started getting really heavy, and that's the first thing I did is change my lifestyle. I changed the way I thought about things, and therefore the first thing I did is change my eating habits, and I started exercising quite a bit. And I lost about 4.5 stone at that time. And that made a huge difference to me, and my diabetes over time went into remission.
With diabetes, people get confused, don't they? Because there's 2 different types, and so you're talking about type 2. Type 1 can't be prevented, but type 2 can. Do your doctors say that if you'd have done things differently, that you could have delayed the onset?
Yes, I agree. It is purely lifestyle related. Most of it is lifestyle related. For me, it was lifestyle related. It was the weight gain, the poor choices I was making with my, very poor eating choices, let's say. Lack of exercise, lack of even emotional strength within. So I was comfort eating. I was doing things that now I don't do anymore. So that is all, poor lifestyle-related stuff that we can change.
What you describe and sounds like perhaps the way a lot of people live. Can you understand why this is a hidden problem and why so many people are undiagnosed? Because they might just think this is just the consequence of the way I'm living. I'm living hard. And my body's got to take a toll.
That's exactly what I mean. It is what we think is not normal. And that's why I set up this support group called Use It to Lose It, which is a close group of women where we support each other. We talk about these things. We talk about what is normal, how can we help each other by making sure we don't eat the stuff that we do, we exercise, we dance if we have to exercise. Exercise is not only at the gym, we meet very
however you want to do it,
yeah,
as long as it's exercise.
Active.
You mentioned that some members of your family had diabetes. How much of type 2 is hereditary and how much of it just comes because you're not living in the way that you should be?
See, I know that type 1 is hereditary. Type 2, I'm not sure of, but I know that, Asians, for instance, we are susceptible genetically to have lifestyle-related diseases. Our culture is all about socializing, about, we show our love in the form of butter, I always say. So we have samosas and we have beautiful food around. So we don't realize that we don't show our love the right way, in a way. So if I really love my family, which I do, then I would actually give them healthy food. I would make them, my treat would be not a chocolate, but hey, today you did well, go and, run around the ground. So that's the kind of thinking I'm talking about, that is normal.
Because as a society, we were doing a news item yesterday about the quantity of sugar in our diets, but also a particular problem with young children. This isn't a problem that's going to get better without awareness, is it?
That's correct. In my group, we just set up something called a 21-day sugar-free challenge. And I can tell you, people are complaining already. Because what is sugar? It's not what you see. It's not that 1 spoon or 2 teaspoons of sugar you put in your coffee or tea every day.
Isn't it?
It's hidden. Did you know that sausages had sugar? I was shocked. I didn't know a sausage had sugar.
And things that say no added sugar.
Yeah, bread has sugar. So where do you stop and when do you change that? So it's all about, I believe it's about self-education. It's about going out there and finding out what is right for you. Don't wait for things to happen.
And just very briefly, I mean, any symptoms that people should be looking out for in order to get themselves some medical attention?
See, for me, it was, I had emotional issues. For me, anything that happened in my life, I just would turn to food. So is that happening for you? Are you physically feeling thirsty all the time? I would feel so thirsty that I was drinking water every few minutes. You know, are you feeling so unwell in your body that you really can't describe? You go to a doctor, he can't really diagnose it. So those kind of things you can't really talk to anybody about. It's something that you feel. So if you start feeling uncomfortable, go and get yourself checked for type 2 diabetes.
Well, good to see you looking so well. Raga D'silva, thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning.
We show our love little with butter. That's got to be the quote of the day.